Hello, my name's Derek Arden, and thanks for joining Monday Night Live, live and uncut podcast with some of the best leaders and speakers from all over the world. Tonight, I've got Geoff Ramm with me. Geoff and I first met on the 10th of February, 2008, when we joined the board of the Professional Speaking Association. We actually looked at each other and said, "What are we doing here? This is crazy." But like most associations, sometimes they're not as focused as business people like us would be. Anyway, we both got elected to be president, and Geoff followed me. We had a lot of fun, and Geoff and I became great friends. Geoff, thanks so much for joining Monday Night Live again. It's brilliant to have you here. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
Oh, it's great to see you, Derek. By the way, this is my third appearance. So do I now win Derek Arden? Is like I know you get the match ball if you get score 3 goals, but
No, Geoff, I
for
didn't tell you
me,
this. We brought you back to apologize for the last two sessions.
it's fair enough. It's fair enough. Yes, hello everybody. My name is Geoff Ramm. I'm a keynote speaker and author. I speak on customer service, but my brand is called Celebrity Service. And I deliver keynotes all over the world. I do about 50 plus conferences a year and sharing stories, ideas, helping individuals, teams, businesses create the gap in their service they never knew existed. So yeah, that's basically me. Derek and I we had that double hospital pass many years ago. We worked in tandem together in a wonderful team, a board, and we created some magic back then. And yeah, that's us as speakers. That's a little bit about me.
And Geoff, you were a marketing man for the car industry to start off with. That's where you learnt all your techniques, I think.
Yeah, well, it was interesting, Derek. I mean, just a brief. I mean, my passion has always been marketing and service. Those are my two sort of topics, as it were. So studying business studies at school, then moving into college, then to university, got a degree. But my very first role in the world of business, I was a advisor, business advisor. And I was advising businesses. I'd never been in business before. It's like, what's going on here? But I was a business advisor for startups, micro small business in the northeast of England. And it was mainly County Durham, so Chesterley Street and Durham City. Those are the areas. But I was working with startups, small SMEs. So I was there for about 3.5 years. And this is back in the day when there's no websites, or if there was, it was like Netscape or whatever it was. Three years to download a page. Um, and the only way you could market and promote a business and get yourself known was through advertising, flyers, back of a bus, yellow pages, all of these sort of, historical museum pieces of marketing back in the day. But that's all we had. So I had small businesses come to me saying, I need to let people know we're here. I need to know, we're alive. How do I get customers? So I had to pretty much think on my feet of how to creatively do it, because every single client that I was working with on a one-to-one basis had one thing in common. They didn't have a penny. When you start a
Right.
business, you do not have a penny to spend on marketing. So once we I come up with all sorts of tactics and ideas over the years, thoroughly enjoyed it. But then that it turns into, once we've got customers, how do we keep them? How do we keep people? How do we deliver an experience so people will tell other people who will tell other people that we can build our business? So that's my sort of bedrock from education into my first role. And you're right about the motor industry. I went from working with small business, and my next role was working in the motor industry, again in the northeast of England. And all of a sudden, I was working with Honda, Chrysler, Fiat, Citroen. Um, who else? Yeah, Honda was the big one in the northeast of England. And we went from having zero budgets, working with businesses trying to get business, to huge budgets, advertising budgets, marketing budgets. And I was a marketing manager of a motor retail group. And within that team, we had database, website, we had customer service. And then first day of March 2002, that's the day I started my own business. I launched my own business. So I've been going almost into my 23rd year now. So yeah, that's sort of a little, yeah, that's where I've come from. But I come from that area of creativity and thinking differently. And that's always been my shtick from the day one. You know, when your competition go that way, do you follow them? And that's where I tend to go. And that's through service, through marketing, and hopefully everything that I do for clients on stage now, but also for my own business as well.
And you give a lot of tips out. This is one of your books. You call yourself Celebrity Service.
Yes.
Geoff, what's that all about? Why celebrity service?
So the question I can ask everybody watching right now, and people are going to watch in the future on this link. Okay, everybody thinks they're good at customer service. You think you're delivering a good high level of service. Now, the question I would ask on stage is the one I'm going to ask now. On the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is abysmal, but 10 is incredible, what number would you give yourself right now for the service experience you're giving every one of your clients, customers, members, passengers, guests? Okay, no matter what business industry you're in. On the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is abysmal, but 10 is incredible, what number would you give yourself?
Okay, Geoff. Well, I've just put 7 in the chat box, so let's see what other
Go
people
on, go for it.
put
This
in
will
the
be
chat.
interesting. This will be interesting because I know the answer.
Right. Okay. So you're in. I didn't know you were a psychic as well. So you're into
Oh,
mind.
I've got, yeah, go for it. Go on, go for it. Let's do an average.
Yeah, well, we'll leave that with me, and we'll keep going. Somebody's claiming 10. Well, if somebody claims 10 on my negotiation course, I give them the clicker and the slides, and they can take over really. But we'll see.
So when I ask this question, right? When I ask this question, and I do this live with an audience, and you can do this from 50 people in the room to, I've done it to 10,000 people in a room. Okay, so I say on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? And I say, give yourself a number. Okay, there are no ones, twos, or threes in the chat, in the room, in the audience today, because that's an instant P45 or an instant, dismissal. I ask who's a 4 and a 5. We always get a handful of hands. I say, put your hands up if you're a 6 or a 7. A lot of hands will go up, and I'll say, did you say 7? And they all go, yeah. I went, I thought so. Where are the 8s? And it's at this point when just about everybody, 80% of the room would put their hand up on an 8.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
I'll say, right, 9. And then the numbers drastically go down. And I say, right, 10. And in a room, say of 1,000 people, Derek, if I asked who's a 10, we might get 2. And I say, let's have a round of applause for the 10s. Way! And I say, in 50 countries that I've spoken in, this is the first question I ask every audience. On the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? The global average is an 8. And I turn to the audience and I go, Now the audience think it's great because they're the global average. And I went, life's too short. Never applaud the global average of anything. I said, what you're saying to me is, Geoff, we're pretty good. It's pretty good. And it is, it's brilliant. If it's an 8, great. But what is it going to take you to go from an 8 to a 9?
That's the question,
What's
Geoff.
it going to take? And I turn to people and I say, depending on how long I've got in the keynote, and I'll say, it's going to take 42 minutes. I'm going to show you how to go to an 8 to 9 in 42 minutes. And it's a mindset shift. You've got to change your mindset. And I'll say, I don't know how many customer service speakers you've ever seen in your career. I don't know how many customer service training courses you've ever had to endure. I don't know how many books you've read or manuals you've flicked through. But I can tell you 2 things that every speaker, trainer, book, and manual will tell you for you and your business to be the outstanding supplier, provider for service in your sector. First is this: you must always go the extra mile.
Yeah.
And the audience will shout out, they'll go, mile. And I go, that's really inspirational. And they start laughing. I went, mile. And I said, the second thing is you must always exceed expectation. And I said, we've been living in a world for the last 50 years of the same 2 phrases. We need to exceed expectations. We need to go the extra mile. And I say, right now, your competition are talking about going the extra mile. So you're all talking about going the extra mile a little bit further. But who's making the leap? Who's making the leap, the giant leap that your customers deserve? Stop going the extra mile. And I say, this next question will change your mindset in delivering a greater service. And this is the question, and it's a philosophy. And this is where the book comes in, Derek. If your next client, potential customer, were to walk through your door, pick up the phone, send you an email, and they were an A-list celebrity, Hollywood, Bollywood, musical, sporting icon, what would you say? What would you do? How would you react? What would be the difference? So if you know, and I'll say, you know, and I'll say in an audience, and I'll say, you know, there'll be people in the room right now saying, "Oh no, Geoff, we treat everybody the same," and I will say, "Shut up. You wouldn't. You would treat everybody a little bit differently. If you knew that Taylor Swift, that Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, George Clooney, whoever it may be, were to be coming into your office tomorrow, how clean is your desk? What coffee are you serving? What biscuits do they get? Do they find it hard to park around the corner because it's a nightmare in your office? Or do you put cones outside? Are your shoes shinier than they ever have been? Have you got staff on long-term sick who will suddenly come in tomorrow because, oh my God, Derek Arden's coming in? If your next client, customer, were an A-list celebrity, Hollywood superstar, what would be the difference? And the difference is the gap. You're delivering 8 out of 10 right now, but if a celebrity were to walk in, your service levels go to there. And that's the gap you don't realize exists within yourself, within your team, within your business. And if you were to take any one of the hundreds of touch points that you have within your business and give it that celebrity service treatment, you will create an experience the world will talk about. So let's see what it looks like. And now that's kind of my intro, where it's pure engagement for the audience. I get to know exactly where they are, which is exactly what the world will tell me, an average of an 8. But I then give them something to think about that's different to anything else they've ever heard of. And then what I do in my talks, Derek, as you know, is I show them what it looks like. You know, now I could quite easily have, oh, here's 10 things you must never do. There's no point in me telling you the negatives of service. You know what they are. But I want to lead you towards greatness, not steer you away from the poor. So I want to show you what amazing look like. And I do that through real life stories, real life examples, real life people that you and I and your audience can connect with straight away. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. That is what celebrity service is. It's the gap in your service you never realized existed. That's the first book that I wrote. And during our little friend called lockdown, that's the second one I wrote, Celebrity Service Superstars. Yeah, and that's me. That's me. But through the keynotes and through the interactive sessions I do, it's wonderful to challenge audiences so that at the end of the session, they've got a smile on their face, they've got some ideas in their pockets. But the greatest thing, and you know this for yourself, Derek, because the feedback that you get on what you deliver, it's the results. That's why we're in this. Otherwise, it's just a talk and it's, oh, that was a nice man from Sunderland. Yeah, that was nice. It's results, you know, life's too short. There's the most important, I think it's one of the most important pages on my website, which not many speakers have, is called results. Now, when you click on that page on my website, there's just a long page of results of what teams, individuals, businesses have gone on to achieve straight from the talk. And I took a sample from both books and the clients. That's what you can go on to achieve when we're inspired and we're shown to think differently, to stand out from the competition, just like all of those years ago when, after college, university, it's still with that mindset of costs nothing, but means the world.
Geoff, can you share a couple of experiences? I know you got one or two props there to share with us as well, but what do you want to tell us? This is being recorded. You don't want to give all your secrets away, Geoff.
Oh, honestly, don't worry, don't worry. You know, life is too short. Okay, so I was thinking about this when we spoke just last week, and I thought, yeah, this is what this company does, and this is what this company does. I'll show you some slides. I'm quite happy to sort of open the book and say, look, these are some of the things that I do, and I don't mind sharing. So an inquiry comes in. An inquiry comes in to me through the website. Hi, Geoff. Da, 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 da. We've seen your videos. We've read your book. We've got a conference next April. This is the venue. This is the time. Are you available? What's your fee? That's everybody's inquiry, isn't it? It's the same type of thing. Are you available? What's your fee? Great. I don't email back. I just, where I can, I just do not email back. But I'll pick up the phone. I'll wait 10 minutes. I'll pick up the phone. And this is really interesting. So if Derek has contacted me through the website, I'll give it 10 minutes and I'll look at my diary. I'm thinking, oh, I can do the date. Oh, where is it? Oh, I've never been there before. That sounds good. 10 minutes later, I'm on the phone to Derek. Derek Arden speaking. Oh, hi, Derek. It's Geoff Ramm. Oh, I've just emailed you. I know. Imagine if I hadn't seen your email and I just rang you. Be a bit weird. I wasn't expecting a call. I said, oh, well, I hope you don't mind, Derek. You buy the computer. And I thought, I'll try and catch you if you want a quick 5 minutes. I'll find out, know how I can help. Because I don't know, Derek, if you've also contacted another couple of speakers. I'm in competition. I want to be the first that contacts you and has a conversation. So, oh yeah, this is the event. Oh, how do you hear about me? Oh, such and such saw you. My manager saw you a couple of years ago, and whatever it may be. Get into a conversation. How many people? Da, 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 da. Right. Okay. Brilliant. Towards the end of the conversation, I ask the question that I already know the answer to. I'll say, oh, do you have copies of the Celebrity Service books? And oh yeah, we've got the first one. Oh well, I'll send you the. I'll tell you what to do. I'll send you the latest one. What's your address? And, oh, thanks very much. So I've got the address. I then obviously will sign it. But this book will go into, and it's you've got to look at all the touch points here, okay? Because all this is an inquiry, and don't get me wrong, they don't all come off. But I want to create an impression that this is going to be a great experience working with me. Okay, so straight away, I'm going to phone you and it's personal. This book will go into this envelope. Ooh. Sexy, sparkly envelope. Inside of this envelope will be a thanks card. Thanks so much for contacting me. Of course, it's blank on the end and I'll write a note. Hi, Derek. Great to chat with you. Please find enclosed. It would be wonderful to work with you. Please find and close the book. Hope you enjoy the stories and ideas, and good luck to Arsenal in the cup tomorrow night. That type of thing, because we got into a conversation. That goes in a box.
Wow.
A box. I mean, don't ask any questions about my footprint. My footprint is tiny, I promise you. But I'm just saying it's a box, right? So that goes inside the box. When you open the box, my branding is on the inside. The Celebrity Service Experience. Inside the box will be the book and notes. Box of milk tray chocolates. Now, for those of you in the UK or old enough, possibly both, you might recognize the Milk Tray Man advert style. Now, that's a business card that I had done many years ago. I stick it in the corner. In my early marketing talks, I talk about I wanted to be the next Milk Tray Man. So I used to take this milk tray to the client as a thank you gift, but I kept on going. I added it to my my kit, I suppose. So, and I handwrite on there, to Derek and team, best wishes. Also on the note, I'll also say every great event needs energy. I hope these chocolates will help you. That type of thing. The envelope goes in there. That is sealed up. You now receive that in the post that you were not expecting. Let's go forward a few weeks. The contract is signed. Everybody's happy. Great, Geoff. Would love to book you. Fantastic. I'll see you next April. When I arrive in April, I've just got these actually. I'm very pleased with these. But I've got this bag. It's only a tote bag. This bag here. See that? Bag. Again,
Yeah.
with the branding on. But inside, you can have some merch. Some little sort of recyclable mugs there. But inside here is, now this is what I'm giving to people on the day, okay? You got a bigger box of milk tray.
So this is to the booker, Geoff, or is this to everybody in the audience? Can't be to everybody in the audience.
My fees are good, but not that good, Derek. There's a limit. But I get a bigger box, bigger box. Now I didn't used to give this big box away until we came out of COVID. I'd always done the other box, which was still quite good, a good size. But I thought, you know what? When everybody else was cutting back, I'm going to put more into this. So I got the bigger box, costs a bit more money. It doesn't matter. I don't worry about it. I'll tell my accountant, don't worry about it. So that's for them and the team. It's 2 layers. There's loads in there. But of course, a client has got numerous people in their team. And sometimes the event planners or the AV team are booking me as well. I'll take one for them as well. So anyhow, they get the chocolates. They're like, oh, thanks very much. This is all very new since we last spoke, Derek. You won't have seen this, right? But I've been looking for this for years, and I finally found it. So you booked Big Ram, Mr. Geoff Big Ram, to speak at your conference. This is now Little Ram. Now I wish you could feel this through the screen, okay? So I'd always been looking for something to leave. Speakers go, oh, there's my book. I'm like, oh, how interesting. Chocolates are gone within an hour. But I wanted something on somebody's desk, but a gift, something that was like, oh, that's nice. A book can be lost in a shelf. Look at your shelf, Derek. I can't see what books are there. So they can be lost. So I got this on Amazon. I found it on Amazon. And I thought, bloody hell, that's expensive. Excuse my French. But I bought just the one. And of course, it's got its labels and its tags. And I went, ooh, I wonder where they got these from. Then I went to the wholesaler, and the wholesaler is in the UK. So, of course, I ring up and I say, how many rams have you got? And it was, for argument's well, anyhow, my first order I got was about 80 rams. Now, if I do 40, 50 conferences a year, that's like a couple of years worth. And I thought, right, I'm going to get this little tag. I don't know if you can see this, right? It says, please,
Yeah, we can see it.
please look after me. See that?
Yeah, yeah. And your customers.
And
Brilliant.
customers, little brand in the, and there's no, that's it. But I put a hole through there and I just tie it with a bit of black wool that I've got in my office. And I tie them up and I put them, and I say, when I give these to a client, oh my God. They're like, the first client I give this to was Aberdeen Football Club up in Scotland. And I worked with the team. And in passing, when I had this, I said, oh, by the way, he needs a name and I need a photographic evidence that you're looking after him. It's me marketing in play here. And within 2 days, I had photographs sent by my wonderful client at Aberdeen Football Club of Ramirez, who was one of their midfielders, Ramirez, in the dugout on the pitch, having an interview. And of course, I'm like, oh, this is just amazing. So every single client, when they book me, receives a little ram. They receive a big box of milk tray. They might receive some merch. That's all good stuff. But they now got the new bag. The bag's all new. And then it's Christmas, isn't it? Christmas comes along. And I know a few of your people remember what I do over the years. I always, always, always get a card. The card is always blank. And I actually do something quite incredible. I actually do something called writing.
Well, Geoff, I'll just show
There it is.
everybody the card.
Hey, there it is.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Geoff's card. First to arrive, 27th of November, Geoff. That was you used to be
Oh
on
yeah.
you used to arrive on the 1st of December, but you've changed your strategy on that, have you?
No, no, my strategy involved a diary in which I wasn't here.
Ah,
So you either got them on the 9th and I thought, oh, that can't work, or you got them then. I just thought I had to go early. I had to go earlier than I thought. But that's the front of the card. Nice little Star Wars montage there. Bit of a fan. But it's something I've always done, Derek. You know, I get a big box, a bigger box. And again, this is just the carbon copy of what I've done. And that is always, always, always going to be full of sweets, chocolates, all of the fun stuff we remember as children, you know, selection boxes and all the rest of it. You know, the colors, it's bright. Because everybody who books me is in a team. Now, the whole, gift, there's a gift when you inquire. There's numerous gifts when you book me and I arrive, and there's a gift at every Christmas point to say thank you for the business. I appreciate it, and I wish you all the best for the coming year. I did a conference earlier this year. I overheard the feedback, and I'm going to use it because they've rebooked me for next year. In the next keynote I'm going to do, I already know the content I'm going to do and the line I'm going to choose, because this event was a stunning event in the northeast of England, and there must have been 30 speakers on the bill. And of course, I give little ram and all, little bits and bobs to the client. And one of the guys, he turned around, he said, I wish you'd tell this to all the speakers. Nobody does it, Derek. The ability to stand out, not in my industry, but in any industry, any
absolutely.
at any point in the year, is so easy. I shouldn't have a job, but people make it hard. And I just see the opportunity where nobody else does, I suppose. Certainly cost of living and all these wonderful things that are happening at the moment. This is the time in which people cut, 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 cut. And if you can just see a way to think positively and spin it to go, you know what, I'm going to get that bigger box of chocolates. I'm going to turn up that little bit earlier. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I stand out from all of the competition, because I can't compete, Derek, on your competition, on your content, or Will's content. I can't compete on that because that's your material. But let nobody beat you for customer service and experience.
Geoff, that's fantastic. I've got to say, the first thing when I opened this card, and Sally, my wife, saw it, she said, "What a lovely card." And it's got Geoff Ramm, and that's a
Yeah,
picture of you, silhouette of you. There it is. Yeah.
yeah. There's always a little me somewhere, but of course, it's a little something, Derek. Well, one is it's personalized, so it's handwritten. You can write whatever you wish, but it's also a case of there's actually something on your client's desk for an entire month.
Mm.
Nobody ever opens a Christmas card, rips it up, and puts it in the bin.
No, and you're
You
absolutely
know?
right. And the handwritten personal bit is so important. Now, we're nearly out of time, Geoff. There's a
Wow.
couple of things I want to say. But first of all, I want to make sure you're going to come back and join us next year with some of your secrets. That's the first thing. Um, Also, the smart people in financial services, when everybody else is selling shares, they're buying a few as the price drops. As long as they're not buying dogs and things that are going to go bust, they're buying when people are selling. It sounds like you're increasing your gifts or your reciprocity, as Robert Cialdini says, to people, so they remember you when everybody else is cutting back. That's really interesting. I've heard you. I know that you've been around the whole professional speaker circuit, including America and South Africa and Australia. I don't see anyone copying you, and yet you've been giving all your secrets away. So that's really interesting as well, isn't it? I'm really. I thought what you did was great, but I have to be honest. I decided that a Christmas card was enough, and buying those chocolates like you do was fantastic, but
You've got to want to do it. It's got to, you
yeah,
can have the idea, you can see it, hear it, think of it, but it's got to come from there.
absolutely.
Got to
And
want to do it.
yeah, so I handwrite Christmas cards and do those things, but going the extra mile, which is why I can see you're so successful. But just tell us where you're going on Wednesday or Thursday, because you're catching three
Ah,
planes to give
yeah. Well,
security service.
I'll quickly bring my, because people ask me about the little Rams and what they're doing now. Because I did order 80. I'll quickly tell you the end of this story, and I'll tell you about this week. So I ordered 80. As soon as I started giving them to clients who fell in love with them, I thought, I'm onto something here. This is just lovely. Just a lovely, just that feeling. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I called the company back and I went, how many Rams have you got left? I now have over 590 Rams in my loft. I mean, if ever there was a Holocaust, if ever the whatever happens, dear Lord, if anything happens here, they'll say, "Did you see all of those sheep?" And he's gone. Anyhow, that's now my retirement plan. Because once that last ram goes out, I'll possibly be done. So there you go. There's a bit of future planning for you. This Thursday will be my final conference of the year. And it's in the Czech Republic, which will be my country number 51. I've never spoken in the Czech Republic before. And I thought, fantastic. I've never been to Prague. I've never been to Prague. That's great. And then the contract came back. It's in a city called Brno. I went, who? Brno. So I've got to leave Newcastle, fly to Amsterdam, then fly to Vienna. And I've got another 2.5 hours drive to a lovely city called Brno, apparently. That'll be my final conference of the year. And then back with the family Saturday night. So that's where I'm at this week. And with little Ram, big box of chocolates, and all bits and bobs in my case. So that is me. And that's the end of quite an incredible year.
Geoff, that's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for sharing those stories with us, giving us some ideas on what we can do if we want to put the energy in, if we want to differentiate ourselves. But just doing one or two of those things would differentiate people watching this live or thinking about it on YouTube or on the Negotiators podcast. Geoff, brilliant. Thanks for joining us. I know that anyone that wants to get a hold of you, it's Google Geoff Ramm or go to www.geoffram.com. And I'd ask everybody on Monday Night Live to give you the usual vote of thanks in the normal way. Thanks, Geoff. And will you stay on for a bit and join us for some?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Geoff Ramm, thanks for joining Monday Night Live.